Minister Boissannault, when you last appeared before this committee had text messages referencing a Randy from September 8th. You said the Randy referenced in those text messages was not you, and your office even put out a statement saying that you were in Vancouver and had no access to electronic devices, and that you had made no phone calls during the time frame in question on September 8th. Since you appeared before a committee, we now have a new tranche of text messages from September 6th that reference Randy in Vancouver. You, Randy, through you, Mr. Chair, were in Vancouver, and now you tell the committee that you did talk to Anderson. You did text Anderson. You didn't say that before. You left this committee with the impression that you had no communications with Anderson, and now you say that? I would submit, Mr. Boissannault, through you, Mr. Chair, that that is a material omission. It is a material misrepresentation. Why didn't you tell the full truth last time you appeared before the committee? Why are we only finding out about this now? Is it because you need a new cover story?
Minister?
I reject the ending of your question, Mr. Cooper, emphatically. Look, the testimony that I gave at this committee when I was last here was about September 8th, and then after summer testimony, I proactively provided my text messages to the Commissioner of Ethics. And Mr. Cooper, I don't have data in my phone that indicates who I texted over 2 years ago. Mr. Chair, I get more time.
You had a choice.
I do believe I get more time,
You had a choice to come to this committee and be forthcoming.
Hang on, Mr. Cooper. I'm going to give you a couple more seconds to respond. Members do have the right to reclaim their time as well, and I'm trying to be as fair as I can. Minister, please go ahead.
So, Mr. Cooper, in the morning of September 6th, as I indicated, I got a text message from Purelator. I indicated that to Mr. Anderson. He called me. We had a 1-minute phone call.
You had a choice.
I sent him the
Point
text.
of order, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Cooper,
Mr. Chair.
I'm going to Mr. Cooper. Go ahead, Mr.
But I have a point of order, Mr. Chair.
Very conveniently.
Hang on. Point of order, Mr. Fisher.
As Mr. Green had recommended, Standing Order 16-2, interrupting the witness.
Okay. I listened to Mr. Green's questioning, and there were several times where he did reclaim his time in advance of the minister responding. And so I'm going to ask that Mr. Cooper, we give ample time for the question. I know you had a long preamble. The question was there. You have the floor, sir. Go ahead. Ask your question.
Mr. Chair, the minister had a choice to come here and be forthcoming. He didn't do so. He misrepresented this committee by omission. And I've got to ask you, you said you had nothing to do with the operations of GHI, and now you admit, in fact, you did. The paying of a bill, that is an operational matter. If you had nothing to do with GHI, why wouldn't you simply pick up the phone, call Purelator, tell them that you have nothing to do with the operations of the business, and for them to call Anderson? Why didn't you do that?
Minister?
That is a really great question, and the answer is I did 3 times. And it was a collections group of Purelator that I never contacted that still somehow had my information from their database. So, Mr. Cooper,
you could have
Mr. Cooper, let me finish.
Mr. Boissannault, why didn't you, at the very least, just text him, say, contact Purelator. Why did you then pick up the phone? Isn't the reason you picked up the phone because you wanted to talk about the $500,000 shakedown? That's why you called Anderson, isn't it?
Minister, go ahead, please.
Not at all. That is simply false, Mr. Cooper. And as I've indicated before, I have nothing to do with the Gowie Group. I have nothing to do with all of those deals with Mr. Anderson took place after I was an operational member of this company. And I did text Mr. Anderson. He responded to me by telephone. I indicated to him that this bill was there and he should take care of it because I didn't want further text messages from
Mr. Boissannault, no one believes you. And after you materially misled this committee by leaving out a material fact, you've lost any benefit of the doubt. 9, you have yet to explain how there are 9 text messages referencing Randy when the only Randy at GHI ever was you. You had a 50% interest. You have a text message placing you in Vancouver. You were in Vancouver. You've now admitted that on that very day you spoke and texted with none other than Anderson, which you weren't forthcoming about until you had now no choice because you want to cover your butt. And so, very simply, Minister Boissannault, do you think Canadians are stupid? Everyone knows it's you. The Randy in the text messages, the Randy in the $500,000 shakedown is you, and you, sir, have lacked the character and judgment to serve in cabinet. If you had any integrity,
Point of order.
you would resign.
Point of order. Point of order.
Okay, thank you. Minister Boissannault, I'm going to give you some time to respond quickly, if you don't mind.
Sure, I will go quickly.
As quick as
Mr.
possible.
Cooper, if the allegations that you just threw at me were true, the Ethics Commissioner would have seen in an exhaustive evaluation of all the text messages on all of the telephones that I have on all platforms that those text messages existed. They do not. I am not the Randy in question. The Ethics
you.
Commissioner has said so, and he considers
No
this
one
matter
believes
closed.
you.
Thank you. Mr. Baines, you have 5.